What is up, guys? In today's video, we'll be talking about a massive, never-ending heat wave across a lot of the eastern and central US and more severe weather that is upcoming. Let's get right into today's video. The first thing we're going to be talking about in today's video is a day one slight risk of severe weather that does extend all the way from Denver, Colorado areas, which is pretty rare, Fort Morgan, Sterling, Ray, St. Francis, Limon, all the way down to Colorado Springs, Cheyenne, Alliance, Scotts Bluff, all the way up to Rapid City, Gillette, and Spearfish regions, where an isolated tornado is actually possible across these regions. In the 2% green region, this is a low chance of tornadoes, but it is definitely possible. So be aware in Denver, Colorado Springs, Cheyenne, and Rapid City regions for an isolated tornado to possible in those regions, but nothing too significant. Now, the wind risk is a 15% chance of wind across Denver, Rapid City, Cheyenne, almost to North Platte regions there in Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, and Nebraska regions, including Badlands National Park. So if you are under these yellow regions, sometimes the brown too, but mainly if you are in the yellow regions, be weather aware for some strong winds that could be possible this afternoon to evening hours. So definitely be weather aware for that across these areas. Now the hail risk is basically the exact same thing. It's a 15% chance of hail across Denver, Fort Morgan, Sydney, Alliance, Rapid City, all the way down to Colorado Springs and Boulder regions, in Colorado, South Dakota, Wyoming, in Nebraska regions. So just be weather aware if you are in those yellow and brown regions. It's nothing too significant, but there could definitely be some hail damage. So make sure to have your cars indoors when there's storms coming across that area. Now the day 2 severe weather risk is way further south. We've got a huge marginal risk that ranges from Chicago all the way over to New York, in Philadelphia, Springfield regions, where we could see some severe weather all the way down to Orlando and Tampa regions, and even Birmingham. So really big marginal 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. But the main thing we are going to be talking about is a slight risk of severe weather ranging from Mobile, Pensacola, Panama City, Tallahassee, Dothan, Albany, Columbus, Montgomery, all the way over to Atlanta, Columbia, South Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, Fayetteville, into Greensboro and Asheville regions. So if you are in those regions in Montgomery too in Alabama, you do need to be weather aware, especially there in Atlanta, Georgia, as we do have a risk of severe weather tomorrow. Now the tornado risk is absolutely nothing here. We have nothing to worry about for tornadoes in Atlanta, Florida, South Carolina, and Alabama regions. But the main thing we are going to be talking about is this wind damage risk here, as we could see some wind damage across the panhandle of Florida here. I know there's a lot of people that vacation down there, all the way over to Alabama, Mobile, Montgomery, Macon, Atlanta, Columbia, and Charlotte and Raleigh areas. So if you are in those regions, be weather aware for some wind damage that we could see tomorrow in the afternoon hours. We could get some gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour across those regions. So be weather aware there, and make sure you have your stuff indoors whenever storms come. Now the hail probabilities are a lot lower here, so there's not much to worry about. We could see some isolated hail damage, so be ready for that, but it's a marginal risk of hail, so nothing too significant across those regions. Now we also have a day 4 slight risk of severe weather that ranges from Valentine, Pierre, Miller, all the way over to Aberdeen, Limon, Bismarck, Jamestown, Minot, all the way up to Fargo and Grand Forks, similar regions that were struck by the derecho that we did have around a week ago in North Dakota. So if you are in these areas, be weather aware, as wind damage is looking to be the highest probability. You could see some sporadic hail damage, but the main threat is going to be wind damage across these regions for day 4, and we will get more information on how significant it will be once we get closer, but we already have a slight risk of severe weather across these areas in North Dakota, South Dakota, all the way up to north central Nebraska regions. So be well aware there in Fargo, Grand Forks, Minot, and Bismarck, and have a plan in case severe weather strikes on day 4, which would be about 3 days from now. Now we're also seeing a prolonged significant heat wave that is basically never ending in the eastern and central US recently, and is going to continue for a pretty long time across these areas, with some really hot temperatures across a lot of the eastern US, including New York City regions, Virginia, South Carolina. The eastern U.S. and Northeast has just been getting slammed by really hot temperatures here, over 100-degree heat index over the last few days or so, and it's going to continue for a long time here. We're going to just see some really warm temperatures across the central, southern, in eastern US, wherever you see those really dark grayish to pinkish type of colors there, is where we're going to see those really warm temperatures. And it's going to continue for a long time there and may not end till basically next Monday across some regions in this. Now, due to the significant heat wave, if you see these orange and pinkish, pink to purplish colors across a lot of the central and eastern US, the orange regions are indicating a heat advisory, and the red, the pinkish regions are indicating a excessive or extreme heat warning across these regions due to this extreme heat we've been seeing for a long time that is going to be prolonged in a lot of these areas, expiring in 3 to 4 days in some of these spots across Shreveport, Jackson, Atlanta, Birmingham, Little Rock, Nashville, St. Louis, all the way up to Indianapolis, Columbus, Rochester, Buffalo, Montpelier regions. And then the excessive heat warning is in the extreme heat warning is in the pinkish regions, which is still continuing across Detroit areas and is pretty significant across those regions already currently. With a lot of heat. So the heat's going to be even higher in those pinkish regions, including Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C. is all in this, which is going to expire in about a day or so. So Washington, Raleigh, Fayetteville, Virginia Beach, New York City, Philadelphia, Hartford, Boston, Springfield, Albany, Augusta regions are all just seeing some extremely rare and extreme heat that you don't see very often in the northeastern U.S. So if you are in these orange and pinkish regions, be prepared there. And if you're outdoors, make sure to drink a lot of water and avoid strenuous activities. And just stay safe out there in this extreme heat. Now, we're also seeing a lot of rain across a lot of the U.S. here, with the first rain that is continuing across a lot of the New Mexico regions. If you see those orange and red regions, that's indicating a lot of heavy rainfall, especially in those mountainous regions that could cause some significant flash flooding in portions of New Mexico today on Tuesday here, and a ton of rain that's going to stack up from today all the way through Thursday and into Friday across Iowa, Minnesota, into Wisconsin, and northern Missouri. So in those orange and red areas doesn't indicate a lot of heavy rainfall that could cause flash flooding over in those regions, which is why the National Weather Service has actually issued multiple excessive rainfall outlooks across these regions, with one being a moderate risk of significant flash flooding in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Ruidoso, Las Cruces, into Ciudad Juarez, Mora, Banula, Rio Rancho areas under this red significant 3 out of 4 moderate risk of flash flooding, which means there's a 40% chance of flooding within 25 miles of a point. So if you are in these regions, be really prepared for flash flooding when heavy rain occurs today. So definitely be really prepared for that, as that could be pretty significant today on the 24th of June. Now, the flash flooding over here is a slight risk of flash flooding, which would be at least a 15 to 40% chance of flash flooding within 25 miles of a point. So be weather aware over the next 3 days or so across Omaha, Lincoln, North Platte, Sioux Falls, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Omaha, Davenport, and the Madison regions in those yellow areas that could have some significant flash flooding. So remember, if it's raining a lot, remember to turn around and don't drown when encountering flooded roads. And this is going to continue for a little while too, with a slight risk of flash flooding even continuing across Omaha, Minneapolis, Rochester, Madison, and Sioux Falls tomorrow. And on day 3, with this flash flooding risk kind of shifting a little further north, as we could see more rain, including Des Moines, Omaha, Rochester, and Minneapolis and Madison areas again there. And this time including Escanaba, Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie, Houghton, in the Traverse City, Green Bay areas, and Sheboygan on in portions of northern and central Wisconsin into the UP and the northern portions of Michigan and portions of central Iowa and extreme eastern Nebraska under this flash flooding risk for the next 3 days or so. That could be pretty significant, so be weather aware in those yellow areas. Alright, I hope everybody did enjoy today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more severe weather updates so you are weather aware and planned, as the weather is pretty insane across a lot of the United States of America. Here, we're going to see a lot of flash flooding and severe weather across the next few days or so, and a significant heat wave that is going to last across the next few days or so too. So be weather aware for that. Hope you guys are planned and prepared for the next storm. Bye, everybody.